Good morning to all. Welcome to this class. Myself Murali Digta, contract lecturer in mechanical engineering. Today we are going to discuss water turbines from fluid mechanics and hydraulic machinery. Okay, in la previous class we learned about the working principle of water turbine, classification of water turbines, layout of hydroelectric power plant, and advantages of hydraulic power plant and disadvantages of hydraulic power plant. Now, in this class, you would be able to know the difference between impulse turbine and reaction turbine, radial flow, tangential flow, mixed flow, and axial flow turbines. And working of Pelton wheel. Now, impulse turbine. Impulse turbine and reaction turbines, hydro turbines are installed to convert the potential energy and kinetic energy of water flow into mechanical work. But the impulse turbine operate based on the change of velocity vectors. In general, the potential energy of water based on the height of waterfall is converted to kinetic energy by one or more nozzles, and then water hits the turbine blades at high speed, causing the turbine to spin and consequently generate electricity. There is no pressure drop throughout the turbine. Due to the above reason, turbine must not run in full of water. Turbine must be placed above the tail race. The examples of impulse turbine is Pelton wheel. Principle of impulse turbine. Observe the diagram. The potential energy of water in the arrow mark from the left side height of waterfall is converted into kinetic energy by one or more nozzles, and then water hits the turbine blades at high speeds, causing the turbine spins consequently. Okay, this is the working principle of impulse turbine. Now we discuss about reaction turbine. The reaction turbine works on Newton's third law. In this reaction turbine, the part of pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy in the guide blades and the moving blades. The turbine must run in full of water. The water must be admitted over the whole circumference of the turbine. Examples of these reaction turbine is Francis turbine and Kaplan turbine. The reaction turbine working principle. Okay, observe the diagram, figure number 2. You will get an idea about the reaction turbine working principle. Simply say that the water impinges on the guide blades. After that, it is strikes on moving blades. The partial pressure energy of water is converted into kinetic energy, and the remaining pressure energy of water is converted into kinetic energy on the moving blades. So here it is the working principle of reaction turbine can be well understood by the taking rotor having moving nozzles and the water high pressure is coming out the nozzle. The reaction turbine force rotates the rotor at high speeds. This is the reaction turbine. Now we will discuss about the radial flow. If the water circulating over the circumference of wheel is called radial flow of the turbine. So the water enters at the inlet of the circumference of the wheel and it is completely rotated around the circumference of the wheel is known as radial flow turbine. If the water enters outer circumference and flows radially towards center, it's called inward flow turbine. It means the water enters outer circumference of the wheel and flows radially towards the center is called inward radial flow turbine. If the water enters at the center and flows radially towards outward, it is known as outward radial flow turbine. In radial flow there are two types. First one is the inward radial flow and second one is the outward radial flow. Inward radial flow reaction turbine. Observe this diagram. You will get an idea about the inward flow reaction turbine. Inward flow reaction turbines means, observe this figure number 3. The water enters at our outer circumference of the wheel and enters radially towards the runner. So this is inward flow reaction turbine. And observe this figure number 4. You will get an idea about the outward flow reaction turbine. Observe this figure 3. The water enters at the center of the runner guide at the center of the guide vanes and leaves and rotate around the circumference of the guide blades and leads towards the outer circumference of the runner wheel. So this is known as outward flow reaction turbine. Now we will discuss tangential flow turbine. Now tangential flow turbine. Water strikes the runner in the direction of tangent to the runner. Example of this tangential flow turbine is Fulton wheel. Observe this diagram. The water enters is in x direction and impinges on the turbine vanes around the circumference of the wheel. It is tangent to the flow of water. So this type of flow is known as tangential flow turbine. Now axial flow turbine. Water flows in the direction parallel to the axis of turbine shaft. Parallel to the axis of turbine shafts. Suppose assume it as a turbine shaft and the water is also flows parallel to it. So then the flow is known as axial flow turbine. Observe this. Here it is. This is the turbine shaft and the water is also flowing, it is parallel to this turbine shaft. Then this flow is known as axial flow turbine. These are all this is the turbine vane blades. Now mixed flow turbine. This is water enters radial direction and leaves in axial direction. The example of mixed flow turbine is Kaplan turbine. This is the Kaplan turbine. Observe here The water enters radially. The water enters radially. The water enters radially like this and leaves axially parallel to the shaft of the runner. So this is mixed flow turbine. And specific speed, it is the speed of geometrically similar turbine which runs under unit head and develops unit power, is known as n under root p by h power of pi by 4. This is specific speed. ns is equal to n under root p by h power of 5 by 4. This is very important for your competitive exams. Here ns is the specific speed, n is the actual speed, p is power developed, h is the head. Now Fulton wheel, we will discuss now the working principle of Fulton wheel. Okay, now we will discuss the introduction and working principle of construction and working principle of impulse turbine. Okay, observe this diagram, you will get an idea about the Fulton wheel. The main parts of the Fulton wheel is penstock, nozzle, spear rod, vanes, runner and casing and braking jet. Fulton wheel, observe this diagram, figure number 9, these are the runner wheel mounted on the number of vanes are there. Introduction to Fulton wheel. This Fulton wheel was developed by L.A. Fulton, an American engineer. This is a tangential flow turbine. Here it is, all available energy at inlet of water only kinetic energy. This turbine is suitable for high heads and low specific speed. The main parts of Fulton wheel: nozzle and flow regulating arrangements, runner and buckets, casing, braking jet. These are the main parts of Fulton wheel. Now, nozzle and flow regulating mechanism. The nozzle is installed to adjust and jet the fluid flow to strike the bucket. As mentioned earlier, it is the only part of the impulse turbine assembly that the pressure changes and the flow head are converted into kinetic energy. The nozzle increases the kinetic energy of water flowing through the penstock. The spear rod is main part in this arrangement and it is a conical needle. Amount of water is controlled by this spear rod, which is operated either by hand wheel or automatically. Now the second one is the runner and buckets. Runner is a circular disc and on its periphery number of evenly spaced blades are fixed. Bucket shape is double hemispherical cup or bowl. Bucket is divided into two symmetrical parts by a wall known as splitter. So, this is known as buckets are set of spoon-shaped cups, especially simply known as spoon-shaped cups, that are mounted around the runner to exchange the energy between the fluid and the turbine. The fluid jet hits these buckets after leaving the nozzle, making the turbine to rotate and existing the outer edge of the bucket. The change in the direction of the fluid during exit compared to the angle of impact varies depending on the design of the turbine. And now the casing. It is to prevent the splashing of water. It is to discharge the water to tail race. It is also acts as safeguard against accidents. The casing for an impulse turbine is a shield cover, especially simply known as shield cover. The turbine to prevent the water from splashing and also to guide it is to the spillway which exists for extra water to protect the structural integrity of the dam. Normally it is made of cast iron. Now the braking jet. Even nozzle stops water by spear rod. The rotor is continuously running due to inertia force. Braking jet issues water in the same direction of jet but backside of the vane. Hence the runner stops in short time. Okay, now you will watch a video. You will get in full clarity of the impulse turbine by this video. Construction and working here is there. So watch this video carefully.
Extraction. When water energy is available at high head and low flow rate. Working of Pelton turbine is simple. High-speed water jet is ejected through a nozzle. When this jet hits buckets of Pelton wheel, it induces an impulsive force. This force makes the turbine rotate. In short, Pelton turbine transforms kinetic energy of water jet to rotational energy. The rotating shaft runs a generator and produces electricity. But demand of power may fluctuate over time. A governing mechanism, which controls position of spearhead, meets this requirement. With lowering power demand, spearheaded water inlet nozzle is moved in, so that water flow rate is reduced. If power demand increases, spearhead is moved out. This will increase flow rate. This in turn makes sure that turbine will rotate at a constant specified RPM, which conforms to the power supply frequency. So this mechanism acts as a speed governing mechanism of Pelton wheel. A cut is provided on bottom portion of buckets. This makes sure that water jet will not get interfered by other incoming buckets. One of the most important parameter of Pelton turbine design is number of buckets on the disc. If number of buckets is inadequate, this will result in loss in water jet. With lowering number of buckets, at some point of operation, complete water jet might be lost. This will decrease efficiency of Pelton turbine drastically. So there should be an appropriate number of buckets, which will make sure that no water is lost. Most vital component of Pelton wheel is its bucket. Buckets are casted as single solid piece, in order to avoid fatigue failure. Water jet is split into two equal components with help of a splitter. The special shape of bucket makes the jet turn almost 180 degrees. This produces an impulsive force on bucket. Force so produced can easily be derived from Newton's second law of motion. Blade outlet angle close to 180 degree is usually used in order to maximize impulsive force. Absolute velocity of fluid will have huge drop from inlet to exit of bucket. However, pressure remains same. So Pelton turbine gains mechanical energy purely due to change in kinetic energy of jet, not due to enthalpy change. Which means Pelton turbine is a pure impulse machine. Pelton turbine design is always aimed at extracting maximum power from water jet, or maximizing efficiency. Power extraction is maximum when product of impulsive force and bucket velocity is maximum. If Pelton wheel buckets are held stationary, even if there is huge impulsive force, power extraction will be zero. Similarly, if buckets are moving with same speed of jet, water jet won't be able to hit the bucket, which leads to zero impulse force. Again, power extraction will be zero. In short, power extraction is zero, both at zero bucket speed, and when bucket speed is same as jet speed. So, optimum power extraction happens in between. It can be shown using Euler's turbomachinery equation that maximum power extraction happens when bucket speed is half the jet velocity. So it is always desirable to operate Pelton wheel at this condition. Pelton turbines can give efficiency as high as 90% at optimum working conditions.
Watch here one more video of the animation of impulse turbine and working. You will get clear idea by watching this video.
Are suitable for power extraction when water energy is available at high.
Now we will differentiate the between impulse and reaction turbine. The main difference between impulse and reaction turbine are all hydraulic energy is converted into kinetic energy by a nozzle in the impulse turbine, whereas in reaction turbine only some amount of the available energy is converted into kinetic energy. Before moving to further, now let us differentiate between the impulse and reaction turbine. Okay, these are all the difference between impulse and reaction turbine. Impulse turbine, all hydraulic energy is converted into kinetic energy by a nozzle. In reaction turbine, only some amount of the available energy is converted into kinetic energy. The second point is, in impulse turbine required less maintenance. In reaction turbine, where it is required more maintenance. The third point, in impulse turbine, the degree of reaction is 0. In reaction turbine, the degree of reaction is between 0 to 1. Fourth one, in impulse turbine, it needs a low discharge of water. In reaction turbine, it needs medium high discharge of water. Fifth one, for impulse turbine, water flow is tangential direction to the turbine wheel. In reaction turbine, water flow is a radial and axial direction to the turbine wheel. And sixth point, in impulse turbine, here is having more hydraulic efficiency. In reaction turbine, it's having relatively less efficiency. Seventh one, in impulse turbine operates at high water heads. In reaction turbine, it operates at medium and low heads. Eighth one, in impulse turbine, an example of impulse turbine is the Pelton wheel. For reaction turbine, an example of reaction turbine is Francis and Kaplan turbine. Ninth point, for impulse turbine, the flow of regulation is done by means of a needle valve fitted into the nozzle. In reaction turbine, flow regulation is carried out by means of guide vane assembly. In 10th one, in impulse turbine, the water turbine is always installed above the tail race and there is no draft tube used. In reaction turbine, the reaction turbine is generally connected to the tail race through a draft tube which is gradually expanding passage. 11th one, in impulse turbine, the turbine doesn't run full and air has a free access to the bucket. In reaction turbine, water completely fill at the passage between the blades and while flowing between the inlet and outlet sections does work on the blades. And the last 12th point, in impulse turbine, water is admitted only in the form of jets. There may be one or more jets striking an equal number of buckets simultaneously. In reaction turbine, water is admitted over the entire circumference of the runner. These are the main differences between impulse and reaction turbine. Observe these carefully. These are very important for your examination. Read once again. I hope all of you understood the videos. The summary of this class: the classification of water turbines, working principle of Pelton wheel, various parts of Pelton wheel, construction and working principle of Pelton wheel. The main important questions from these topics are: working principle of Pelton wheel, explain the different types of flows, explain the working principle of Pelton wheel with diagram. These are the very important questions. In this class we discussed all these. I hope all of you understand this class. Once again we will discuss what is what in brief. Okay. Once again I am repeating the working principle, introduction of the Pelton wheel. Observe this. This is the diagram of the Pelton wheel. This is the diagram of the Pelton wheel. The Pelton turbine or Pelton wheel is a tangential flow impulse turbine. The water flow from nozzle strikes the bucket of the runner tangentially its pitch circle. The nozzle direct high velocity streams of water onto curved buckets mounted around the periphery of the wheel. Each bucket reverses the direction of flow of water, leaving it with decreased energy. Each bucket reverses the direction of flow of water, leaving it with decreased energy. The resulting force rotates rotate the turbine. The buckets are mounted in pair to balance the force. This turbine is named after L.A. Pelton, an American engineer. Is used for high heads. Okay. The main parts of the Pelton wheel are nozzle with regulating arrangement, runner with buckets, casing, braking jet. Okay. Observe here, the braking jet is here. The jet of water into. Okay, first we will discuss with first one, nozzle with regulating arrangement. Okay, this is the nozzle and regulating arrangements. Nozzle is fitted at the end of penstock, right? The water at high head is brought from the reservoir through penstock. The nozzle converts the available head into high velocity jet. Which strikes the runner buckets. The nozzles are made of cast iron or cast steel. Here is one more is the spear rod. This is the spear rod. This is the spear rod. This is spear rod. Is used to control the flow of water striking the blades. The spear rod is conical needle which is fitted inside the nozzle. The nozzle passes, hence the flow of water can be increased or reduced by the moving of this spear rod. Now next one is the runner bucket. These are all the vanes. The runner is a circular disc. This is the runner is a circular disc which the buckets evenly spaced on its periphery. These are all the vanes. These all are the vanes. The runner is mounted on the turbine shaft. The runner is mounted on turbine shaft. The buckets are a special shape having double hemispherical. That means this is a, I will show how it is designed. Okay, this is the shape of the buckets. The buckets are special shape having double hemispherical or semi ellipsoidal cups separated by a wall. This is the wall known as a splitter. The jet of water from the nozzle at high velocity strike the splitter and splits. The splitter splits the jet into two equal parts, leaving symmetrically on both sides of the vane. In this way, the thrust force on bearing and shaft is eliminated. The buckets are made of cast iron, cast steel, special steel or stainless steel. And now the casing. This is the casing. Casing made up of cast iron, casing of Pelton wheel do not perform any hydraulic function. That is, fluid parameters such as velocity, pressure, etc. will not be changed by this casing. The function of casing is to prevent splashing of water, lead water to tail race. It is a safeguard against accident. And now the next one is the braking jet. Here it is the braking jet. A braking jet is used to bring the runner to rest in short time. A nozzle is provided on the casing which directs the jet of water on the back of vanes. This jet is called braking jet. And one more is important point is there, that is the deflector. The deflector is used to deflect the jet so that the entire flow does not reach the bucket. Deflectors are often used with speed value to control the speed of runner. Okay, this is about the construction and working of the Pelton wheel. We discussed all these, right? And before this we will discuss the impulse and reaction turbine. Okay, and next coming class we will discuss the work done and efficiency of Pelton wheel and some simple problems on it. Okay, some important points for Pelton wheel also we will discuss in next class. I hope all of you understood this class. Don't forget the important questions. Here I am given this frequently asked question. Don't forget, these are very very important questions. Once again I will tell you the difference between impulse and reaction turbine. This is also very important. I'm completely here. I'm telling the impulse turbine point 1, point 2 by point to point. Impulse turbine, all the available energy of water converted into kinetic energy. And second one, pressure in the turbine constant and is equal to atmosphere. The runner revolves in open air. In impulse turbine, casing has no hydraulic function. Fifth one, the kinetic energy at outlet of turbine cannot be received. And fifth one, the kinetic energy at outlet of turbine cannot be received. Sixth one, for impulse turbine, water is admitted over the part of circumference. Seventh one, the flow regulation is possible without loss. And eighth one, the impulse turbine is suitable for high heads and less discharge. And last one, it is used for low specific speed. For reaction turbine, a part of available energy is converted into kinetic energy and rest remains as pressure energy. And second one, pressure in the turbine varies continuously, maximum at inlet and minimum at outlet. Third one, the runner is encased in a airtight casing. Fourth one, for reaction turbine, casing is essential as pressure change takes place in the runner. And fifth one, kinetic energy at outlet of turbine can be recovered by providing a draft tube. The kinetic energy at outlet of the turbine can be recovered by providing draft tube. Here it is we are using the draft tube in reaction turbines. And sixth point is runner is completely immersed in the water. And seventh one, flow regulation is always accompanied by loss. And eighth one, suitable for low heads and high discharge. And the speed of this turbine is more comparing to impulse turbine. Okay, these are the main differences between impulse and reaction turbine. Okay, these are about all about today's class: impulse turbine, reaction turbine, working principle for reaction turbine, impulse turbine. And in this class we discussed inward flow reaction turbine, outward flow reaction turbine, tangential flow turbine, axial flow turbine, and mixed flow turbine. A specific speed of the turbine can be determined by this equation, that is ns is equal to n under root p by h power of 5 by 4. These are very important for your competitive exams. And finally we discussed the working and construction and working of Pelton wheel. I hope all of you understood this class. If you have any doubt, please feel free to contact it by using WhatsApp number 97040 46577. Thank you one and all. Thank you for watching this video. Okay, thank you. Bye friends.